Hello, I'm Brent Rivera, and I am a youth ambassador for the UN International Day of Peace. I am here with Angel Kagame, daughter of President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, and you are the spokesperson for Forgive for Peace. So what was it like growing up in Rwanda after the genocide?
I was born in '93 in Belgium, and at the time my family lived in Uganda. So I moved to Rwanda in '94, right after the genocide. So I was born in a very transitional period that the country was going through. So I, like many people my age, have seen Rwanda's growth since right after the genocide until today. At that time, I was 2 years old. So we did, I've seen Rwanda go from having no schools to barely any hospitals to, just having to pick up and start from scratch. I think for people my age, the progress is tremendous because we were born in the midst of it, and now we are living in a very exciting time for Rwanda.
So how was that translated in your experiences here in the U.S.?
I came to the United States for high school, so I know when you're an international student, people are very curious about where you're from. And of course, there's a lot of history classes or African studies classes that people take where they touch on the Rwandan genocide. But I think very few people get to learn about what's happened after the genocide and the progress Rwanda has made and the different success stories that are happening there now. That was the biggest thing for me. That was every time I met somebody and they asked me where I was from, of course, the first thing they associate Rwanda with is genocide. Yeah. So it was very important for me to make it clear that there's a lot happening now, and it's making significant strides in development, the economy, everything. So I think a lot of my peers, people I went to school with, the first questions that they'd ask every time I'd say I'm going home for vacation to visit my family, they'd ask, "Oh, is it safe there now?" Because what clicks in their mind when you mention Rwanda is genocide. So I think for me it was very important for me to talk about what's happening in post-genocide Rwanda and how amazing it is, and invite people to come visit and see for themselves. So it was very important for me to spread that message.
So what are the lessons that young people can learn from the story of Rwanda and its rebirth?
I think Rwanda's story is a lesson for everybody, not just young people, but we all know there's a lot of conflict in the world currently. And I think I think what Rwanda's story does is sends a message of hope. And it shows people that it is possible to come out of tragedy and come out better and stronger. And I think Rwanda is living proof of that. Yeah. And I think just looking at the progress it's made in 20 years is just remarkable. So I think for people who are going through conflict or recovering from conflict, I think it's a message of hope. I think Rwanda is a symbol of hope, and it's a reminder that it is possible through hard work and forgiveness. I think it is possible to move past conflict and tragedy.
Why is forgiveness more important now than ever?
I think the biggest thing for Rwanda or any country that might be going through a conflict is not passing that on to the next generation. And it takes generations to recover from a genocide. So I think forgiveness was very important for us to be able to move on or even start to develop or build. It would be impossible if everyone was still, I guess, holding on to the past. So I think for our future, it's very important to move past what has happened and try and use that as motivation to build a better future for us and for our kids. Otherwise, we would be passing on a vicious cycle of hate and conflict if we didn't forgive. I shared more in my experience and my take on Rwanda's forgiveness story on my blog, so you can check that out on my Twitter @Angel Kagame.